Tonight on UCentral News, Edmond's mayoral race is heating up with primaries beginning tomorrow. And snow chance or no chance, Carly Torbett will have the details on possible snow coming up. And in sports, Ian Nickel has all of the highlights from the big game you won't want to miss. All of that and more starting now.
Live from Central Oklahoma, this is UCentral News.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Ramirez.
And I'm Ian Nickel. Welcome to this edition of UCentral News.
Edmond's mayoral primary is tomorrow. Polls will open at 7 a.m. and close at 7 p.m. There are 4 candidates on the ballot. First on the ballot is Tom Robbins, a former Edmond City Council member. If elected, he says he will prioritize communication, smart growth, and fiscal transparency. Second is Leonard Scott, a veteran who is running on a platform of removing DEI and giving citizens a voice. Third is Mark Nash, who has served on various committees and boards in Edmond. He's running on responsible spending and development. And finally, David Hornbeek, an architect whose platform is centered around service, progress, and community. The top 2 candidates from tomorrow's primary will advance to the general election on April 1st.
Friday is Valentine's Day, and UCO is celebrating in many different ways. UCO's Baptist Collegiate Ministry is hosting a Galentine's, including free food and worship. The Student Alliance for Equality is hosting Palentine's to make DIY cards to give out, as well as many bake sales that will be taking place in the Nye University Center. Plenty of opportunities to get that special someone something to remember.
Ian, I'm getting excited. I heard we might be getting some snow.
I did too. It'll be exciting to see if stuff will fall down.
Let's send it over to Carly for our first look at weather.
Thank you, guys. Looking at those current conditions, we did get a cold and cloudy start to our day. We're sitting at 40 degrees outside. That wind is coming from the southeast at about 7 miles per hour. Those gusts are about 12 miles per hour. Humidity is 67%, and it does feel like 34 degrees outside, so very, very cold. Looking at that allergy index, we don't have too much of a high contributor today. We just have our tree and ragweed giving just a little bit of problems, but nothing too crazy. So if we are feeling those allergies, we can thank our tree and our ragweed today. And then looking ahead, we did get that cold and cloudy start, like I said, to our week. We do have winter weather advisories across the state tomorrow and Wednesday, so this weather is about to get super cold and very hectic over these next couple of days. We have possible overnight freezing rain, sleet, looking at the possibility of snow. I will have more for you on later on in the show. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Carly. Immigration courts are facing record high backlog, and that'll likely be a challenge for the Trump administration, which is seeking to deport thousands of people. According to new federal data, the backlog exceeds 4 million pending cases. The latest data reflects the first quarter of 2025. Immigration courts decide whether to deport immigrants, and they have been bogged down over the years as more cases are added. The backlog, which includes people seeking asylum, has doubled since fiscal year 2021 following migrant surges across the U.S. southern border. Cases have been piling up faster than immigration judges can keep up. Some are scheduling hearings years in advance. One judge saying their next availability is in 2027.
It could be another whirlwind week for international trade. President Donald Trump says he'll announce new reciprocal tariffs tomorrow or Wednesday. Today, he says he plans to target steel and aluminum imports. And Amy Kiley reports also today, new on Chinese duties and on American goods take effect.
This escalation is not going to be helpful.
President Donald Trump says he's announcing a number of new tariffs this week, starting today.
Any steel coming into the United States is going to have a 25% tariff.
What about aluminum, sir?
Aluminum, too.
Canada produces about a quarter of U.S. steel imports. Mexico supplies about half that. Analysts say the upside of the tariffs is they might help domestic producers. U.S. Steel Corporation is struggling so much it unsuccessfully tried to sell itself to a Japanese company last month. Some economists say the downside of tariffs could be higher prices for Americans. They point to other duties on metals that Trump imposed in his first term.
It was sort of a situation where an eye for an eye left everybody blind.
Also today, new Chinese tariffs on some U.S. goods begin. They're 15% for certain types of coal and liquefied natural gas, and 10% for crude oil, certain vehicles, and farm equipment. China says, quote, trade and tariff wars have no winners. But it says it's responding to Trump's new tariff on Chinese products. Those force American businesses to pay 10% extra as a kind of tax on Chinese imports over $800. Many economists say that could be inflationary.
When you're dealing with the Chinese government, you really are looking to try to find a way that nobody really looks bad.
I'm Mimi Kiley reporting.
The Trump administration says it's only pausing tariffs on Chinese imports that cost less than $800. It says the Commerce Department is developing a system for tracking those goods.
Trader Joe's has set a 1 dozen egg limit per day for customers due to the avian flu. A company spokesperson says this will help stores prevent from their shelves going bare. Avian flu resulted in the deaths of more than 40 million egg-laying birds in 2024. The lack of eggs has caused them to be more expensive and led to some people to try to buy large amounts per visit. Trader Joe's isn't the only retailer attempting to cope with the egg supply shortage. Kroger officials say although they haven't officially placed a limit, some of its stores have done so based on availability. And Waffle House has added a 50-cent price hike for meals that include eggs. The Department of Agriculture predicts the cost of eggs will increase 20% before the end of the year. And Jeremy, I got to tell you, that is not excellent.
Agreed. When we get back, Carly will have our full look at weather.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move to meet our students where they are and get them where they want to go. Over time, thousands of students have made the move to UCO. They come to pursue their passions and find their calling, to improve their lives, families, and communities. UCO moves and motivates students in and out of the classroom. Here, potential takes flight. Our students' curiosity ignites a spark that fuels transformation. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the university that hasn't stopped moving since 1890. In fact, we are gaining momentum. This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Good afternoon, Broncos, and welcome back to UCentral. Looking at those current conditions today, we had a cold and cloudy start. We're sitting at 40 degrees outside. Winds coming in from the southeast at about 7 miles per hour with those wind gusts at 12 miles per hour. Humidity is at 67% and it feels like 34, which is very, very cold outside. And then looking at that chance of precipitation for tonight and tomorrow morning, everyone is going to get a little bit of something. So up in the Panhandle with Guyman, you guys are going to be expecting more of that snow. Enid, Ponca City, you guys are going to be looking at a mix of the ice and the snow, the sleet, freezing rain. And then we have Clinton, OKC Metro, Tulsa. You guys are going to be seeing those ice. And then we just have a little bit of rain chances in McAllister, Ardmore, and Lawton. And then going into our current conditions for today across the state, OKC Metro 38 degrees, Clinton 37, Woodward 42. Everybody's super cold, and that winter weather is finally coming in, and we are all feeling it all across the state today and for the next couple of days. And then going into tonight, we are going to see it's going to still be very cloudy. It's going to be 33 degrees outside. That wind is going to shift just a little bit to the east, and it's going to be coming in at about 5 miles per hour with those gusts at 8 miles per hour. Humidity is going to bump up to 90%. And we are having that chance of rain, which can possibly freeze tonight. And then going into tonight across the state, like I said, everybody is feeling that winter weather right now. It is getting very, very cold outside. Guyman up in the Panhandle with 21 degrees, Enid at 30, OKC Metro at 33 degrees, and McAllister 35. Ardmore, you're going to have the hottest evening, which is at 37, which isn't too much of a change from the rest of the state that's feeling it tonight. And then going into tomorrow, like I said, we have those winter weather advisories going into tomorrow. Up in the Panhandle, go slow, better be safe than sorry. You guys are going to be experiencing a lot of cold. 28 in Guyman, 30 in Woodward. Got a couple of slick spots near Enid, Clinton, and Ponca City. So 34 Enid, 35 Ponca City, and then Tulsa 39, OKC Metro 37. Like I said, we're going to be seeing that winter weather come in these next couple of days, and it is going to be slick. Going into that 7-day forecast tomorrow, 24% chance with that 37-degree mark as our high, and our low is 27. Wednesday, that's going to be our worst day. We're looking at possible sleet, freezing rain, maybe some snow. I don't think we're going to get too much snow, nothing over an inch, but it is going to freeze, and those roads are possibly going to get bad, with the low being 11 for that day. Friday, Valentine's Day, 49 degrees. Not too bad. It's a little bit of a change from what we're going to experience these next couple days, and then going in to earlier next week on Monday, we are going to see a 54-degree change, and it's hopefully going to be a little bit nicer than what we've been seeing, obviously, these next couple of days. Ian, Jeremy, are you hoping for the snow, or are you just going to try to stay away from the snow?
You know, I would much rather have snow than nothing at all, because if it's just cold and there's nothing out, it's just absolutely miserable. So what about you, Carly?
I agree. I mean, snow, it can be fun, but once it gets icy, that's when it gets dangerous. That's when the roads are bad, and we don't want that. How about you, Jeremy?
Carly, I'm excited about the snow, but kind of like you're saying, I just hope it doesn't get too icy, you know? But thank you, Carly. Coming up, find out who won big at the Critics' Choice Awards.
And which celebrities are involved in SNL's 50th anniversary. Riley Townsend will have your full social media update when we come back.
Rugged, rough, built for the road ahead. Sometimes I feel like a shell of a man.
Commercials are fake. What you're feeling isn't. Call or text 988, Oklahoma's mental health lifeline.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move forward, daily living the Bronco way, being reflective of our neighborhood, community, history, and Oklahoma. This is what has made us who we are. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the third largest university in Oklahoma. This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Good afternoon, Broncos. I'm Riley Townsend here with your Central Social Media Breakdown. The 30th Annual Critics' Choice Awards was held Friday, February 7th. The film Anora won Best Picture. Best Actress went to Demi Moore for her role in The Substance, and Best Actor went to Adam Brody for his role in The Brutalist. John Chu won Best Director for his contributions to Wicked, and Best Animated Film went to The Wild Robot. In the TV category, the big winners were Shogun winning Best Drama Series, Drama Actor, Drama Supporting Actress, and Drama Supporting Actor. Jean Smart's Hacks wasn't far behind with 3 wins of its own: Best Comedy Series, Best Comedy Actress, and Best Supporting Comedy Actress. Last night, the Chiefs and Eagles faced off at the 59th Super Bowl in Caesars Superdome. For this year's halftime performance, Kendrick Lamar, the 37-year-old Grammy winner, had the stadium mesmerized. The performance started with an introduction given by Samuel, DNA, Euphoria, Man at the Garden, and Peekaboo before introducing SZA. Saturday Night Live is hosting its 50th year anniversary celebration next Sunday. NBC's live comedy sketch debuted in 1975 and has had fans laughing ever since. Since the 3-hour special has been announced, the director and cast of Saturday Night Live have kept many of the details about the special under wraps. Last Friday, February 6th, NBC announced a few of the celebrities expected to be featured in the special. Saturday Night Live did this by uploading a video to its social media pages, teasing the names of celebrities who would be involved. The list included Dave Chappelle, Adam Driver, Martin Short, Miley Cyrus, Sabrina Carpenter, Scarlett Johansson, Kim Kardashian, and Tom Hanks, just to name a few. More names are expected to be announced as we get closer to this 3-hour celebration. The special will air Sunday, February 16th from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Ian, Jeremy, are you going to watch the 50th anniversary special?
Yeah, I mean, I plan on actually making a night of it. I'm going to have some friends over. I might order some food. What about you, Riley?
I'm excited. It's my father's 50th birthday party, so I think we'll celebrate by watching the 50th anniversary episode.
Nice.
Yeah, I hope it's going to be good. Happy birthday to your dad, by the way. I think I'm going to watch a little bit of it. Thank you, Riley. Coming up, I'll have a recap of UCO's big wrestling victory against Nebraska Kearney and, of course, highlights from the big game. Stay with us.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move forward, daily living the Bronco way, being reflective of our neighborhood, community, history, and Oklahoma. This is what has made us who we are. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the 3rd largest university in Oklahoma. This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Everyone has a ritual. That small thing to keep us focused. A habit we never skip. To clear. Maybe you surround yourself with positivity. Or you need to center yourself. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body. It's about taking care of your mind and mental health. Discover the resources you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Broncos basketball is getting hot at the right time as the men's team put up a dominant performance against Missouri Western on Saturday. The Broncos put up 92 and only allowed 60 against the Griffins to improve their record to 14-9 and are now in the top 5 of the MIAA standings with a conference record of 8-6. They'll play one game this week as they'll play 18-8 Rogers State on Saturday at the Claremore Expo Center. Over to the mats, Broncos wrestling got their biggest win of the season against Nebraska Kearney. 8 out of the 10 matches were decided by 3 points or less, with UCO winning 5 of those 8 and winning the duel 19-12. Dual season wraps up this weekend with their conference finale against Central Missouri in Warrensburg on Saturday. If the Broncos win that, they'll be MIAA champions once again, and their season finale against New Mexico Highlands on Sunday will be at Hamilton Fieldhouse. To the Diamond, Broncos softball return home for the UCO and OC Softball Classic. The show started out hot with a big victory against Western New Mexico 11-3, but couldn't keep up the pace with Oklahoma Baptist as they lost 12-7. The following day, they took care of business against Missouri S&T 10-2, and a Tarrant-Rich shutout against number 20 Southern Nazarene provided 2 wins on Saturday and a 3-1 weekend overall in Edmond. Here's what head coach Cody White had to say after the victory against Southern Nazarene.
That's what I just told the team, that this was a big day for them. They learned from yesterday. We didn't come prepared yesterday. We didn't come mentally prepared, and today it was different. We were locked in today. Taryn Ritz, obviously, just you could look on the body language and how she went out and approached things, and the success was the byproduct of that.
Softball will be back at home this weekend with 5 games in 3 days as part of the Raising Cane's Softball Festival. UCO went over to the Natural State and naturally won all 4 games this weekend. They defeated Henderson State with a 2-run rally in the 9th to win 5-4, smoked Ouachita Baptist 14-0, and won 2 close battles with the Southern Arkansas Mule Riders 10-7 and 10-8, extending their winning streak to 6 games. They'll return to Wendell-Simmons Field this Friday for a series against Colorado Christian. The Thunder return to the court tonight after 2 victories against the Raptors and Grizzlies and welcome back their big man Chet Holmgren after a lengthy absence from the Gonzaga alum. He came to play against Toronto and had 4 blocks in the victory and rested against Memphis due to it being a back-to-back. With 3 games left until the All-Star break, the Thunder remain in first in the West with a 42-9 record and a 7.5-game lead over the second-place team in the West, the Memphis Grizzlies, who they just beat on Saturday. The Thunder will have a 5-game winning streak against the ice-cold New Orleans Pelicans, who have lost 8 in a row and are dead last in the Western Conference. Tip-off is tonight at 7 p.m. in Loud City. Speaking of disasters in New Orleans, last night's Super Bowl was a dream for Philly and a nightmare for Kansas City. 3rd and 16, Chiefs down 10. Patrick Mahomes has to make a big play here, and he gets picked off by rookie quarterback Cooper DeJean, who returns it into the end zone for a pick 6. What a time to get your first interception of your NFL career. Now the Chiefs still have a chance. All Mahomes has to do is, well, not that. Throw it to Eagles linebacker Zach Bond. The Eagles would score before the half, leading 24-0. The dagger would come from this Jalen Hurts 46-yard laser to Devontae Smith, and that would put the kids to bed. The Philadelphia Eagles are Super Bowl 59 champions and got revenge on the Chiefs, who beat them 2 years ago, 40-22. And that's my time. Back to you at the desk, Jeremy.
Thank you, Ian. Coming up, what else can you rent from the library other than books? And Carly Torbett will have our last look at weather after the break.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
Expanding horizons, making room for the new. The modern frontier is ready for you. There's more to discover, more fun to be found. Our city is rising, just look around. Attractions, adventures, excitement and thrills, rooms of beauty and history where knowledge is filled. A convergence of cultures in spectacular places, open skies, open minds, and wide open spaces. The modern frontier awaits you to embrace it.
Wanting to get into vinyl records? Max Chambers Library has a selection available to check out. UCentral's Michaela Kraus has more.
The Max Chambers Library has a variety of resources available to students. But did you know the library has a collection of contemporary vinyl records available for students to check out?
So we started about 3 years ago trying to fill in gaps from where our collection stopped. So we stopped collecting records back around 1980, and now that records have become popular again, we are starting to collect them again.
The library also has 2 portable record players available for checkout.
Because not everyone has a record player of their own, and so this makes it possible for students to both check out the albums and check out a way to play them.
If you don't know how to use a record player, library staff will walk you through it.
But we've tried to do everything we can to educate our users when they take it. So we have a quick start guide that's up here, and it tells you step by step what to do.
Edward says that over the past few years, the vinyl collection has become much more popular.
I think there is a little bit of nostalgia and kind of this retro vibe to it, but honestly I think that we miss being able to own things. I think that we like the idea of ownership. When you're streaming, you don't own that music, and the artists don't get very much from that streaming, and so by buying their albums and bringing them into your house, you have ownership of a full album, and that's in perpetuity. You don't have to worry about it going away, and it supports our artists that we really love a lot more.
Reporting for UCentral News, I'm Michaela Kraus.
And now we're going to send it over to Carly for our last look at weather.
Thank you, Jeremy. Looking at the hourly forecast, here around 5 o'clock, it is still going to be cloudy. It is 37 degrees outside, so still very, very cold. 6 o'clock, it's going to be a little bit clearer with that sunset hitting at 6:07, bumping up to 38 degrees. But then once we get to 7 o'clock, we're going to be back with that really big overcast, and then we're going to have it 36 degrees outside. And then looking ahead, like I said, we had a cold, cloudy start to this week. We do have a couple winter weather advisories across the state tomorrow, and on Wednesday we have a couple winter storms coming in that we need to be aware of, and we have that possible overnight freezing rain, sleet, and even some snow on the way these next couple of days. That is all I have for you today. Back to you, Jeremy and Ian at the desk.
Thank you, Carly. Well, that's all the time we have today. I'm Jeremy Ramirez.
And I'm Ian Nickel. Have a great rest of your Monday night.